Hello and happy Wednesday. I am excited to be here. It is a new live and the last one, hopefully, in this office. I don't know if you can tell, but I took a lot of things out because I'm moving to my new office, which is very exciting to me. And I hope you guys are all having a great day. I've had a very busy day. I went and got my hair cut and colored, came home, got the dog, went to the dog park, came here, and came right back home, or came right to the live. So I hope you guys are having a great Wednesday. I am doing a down day tomorrow, so I'm excited about that because I'm going to breakfast on Friday and I'm going to do a down day just to plan for that, just to give you guys, I know I share this on Sundays, but I figured I'd share what my plan is. And then today I'm going, today I'm eating late. So my husband and I are going to get carry out. We call it late night, date night. So I'm excited about that. So I'm going to have a late eating window today, which will give me a nice long fast before that, and then a down day tomorrow. I don't know or think I'll do a 500 calorie meal, and then breakfast the next day, and probably dinner, but I'm excited about it. We'll get started. Brittany says, hi, new to fasting. I do OMAD in 24. I love it. That's awesome. I see you also said you started in October 1st. So you've got a month under your belt, and it's pretty amazing that you're already at OMAD. That is quick for some people, and some people pretty quickly find out that works well for them. And the 24 OMAD schedule, you guys know, is my preference. It really works well for me, and I think that's awesome. So congrats on sticking with it since October 1st, and I hope you're around for a long time. And thanks for joining the live and saying hi. And Patty, hi Patty. I was just telling my husband I need to pull out the Christmas quilt again. Patty sent me the most beautiful Christmas quilt. I can't believe it's been a year now. And I can't wait to get it out. It's going to look beautiful. I'm excited about that. So thank you again, and I look forward to using it. Hey, Mom. Mom loves my new hair. Thank you. I am doing it backwards. She did it really layered, and she asked me, I told her I wanted to go short because it was just getting really scraggly, and I didn't really give her any direction, so I like it, and I'm very happy with it. Let's see. Hey, Laura. Thanks for joining. Kieran, happy Wednesday. I thought that emoji I thought was a virus emoji at first. But thank you. Thank you very much. Katie says, hi, Jackie. I sent a bunch of brewery stickers from the Cleveland area. Yay! I will have to go to I haven't been to my P.O. box in a while, so I will check that out soon. Thank you. I'm excited about that. Kathy says, love your encouragement. 18.6 works well for me. My cravings all gone. That's amazing. Yay. And I'm excited for you. 18.6 can be a perfect schedule for some. You guys know it's too long for me, but I absolutely love hearing you guys implementing fasting in a way that works well for you. And I think anyone that's maybe new, and if you see me doing OMAD and that sounds awful to you, let Kathy be the encouragement that a different, wider schedule can work for others. So be patient, figure out what works for you, because Kathy's schedule is different than my schedule, and different people find different things that work. So thank you for sharing, Kathy, and I'm glad you're here. Also, I did say in the chat, I have a very hard stop at 2. I have a commitment at my kids' school before I pick them up, so I have to leave like 2. I will be gone off this. So I just want to let you guys know. 111 days in OMAD life and down almost 40 pounds. Yay! Thank you for being one of the people who inspired me. Only 20 to go. Happy Wednesday. Well, Mel, I'm guessing from your username, I'm very happy for you, and sounds like you need to come on my podcast. That's all I'm going to say. I had to cancel some, and I feel bad for the ones I had to cancel because of our construction. But I'm hoping I'll be set up, and I'm starting to schedule them for the new year. If anyone wants, just throwing it out there. But I'd love to have you, Mel, and any others. You're welcome, Brittany. Black Duck says, doing OMAD for 7 weeks. I'm having a hard time concentrating, trying not to think about food, especially at night. Oh, interesting. Any ideas on how I can overcome these urges of eating prior to the 1924 window? So you have a pretty good runway. Honestly, it's not something that I really deal with, like fighting the urge. There are times where I'm hungry, like yesterday, I knew I looked forward to my eating window. And we didn't even have anything special, but I looked forward to it. It was hot dogs and French fries and homemade applesauce. but I looked forward to like the sauerkraut, the toppings, and I knew I wanted to be hungry. Like I didn't want to eat before my meal and then eat a partial meal because I was full from breaking it with a snack. So I had to like convince myself of that, if that makes sense. So I didn't eat dinner. I'm trying to think. I was over 24 hours fasted by the time we got to dinner because I ate earlier the day before, and that played into my hunger. I know because I was getting the 22 hour mark where I generally break my fast, I was feeling ready to eat, but I just had to like basically convince myself, went to Panera and got a fresh, what did I get? Probably a hot coffee at this point because it's pretty cold here. Got a fresh cup of coffee, filled up my tumbler, and just kind of pushed through the hunger because I normally eat at 22 hour mark, but I didn't eat until I think it was like 24 and a half hours yesterday. But I also knew I was looking forward to my eating window, so I didn't want to not fully enjoy that meal. And the longer I fast, the more that I realize if I break my fast early because I'm hungrier and I think, oh, I'll just have a snack and then I eat my meal, I sometimes not ruin the meal, but I don't enjoy my OMAD as much if I'm not as hungry. And not that I'm like, oh, so hungry I'm shoveling it in and not eating it, but there's just an appreciation of like, yay, I've waited for this. I'm enjoying this meal. And I really did enjoy our dinner yesterday because I waited for it. And you guys know I often open my eating window with a snack, but yesterday it was at a time where I knew if I opened with a snack, I wouldn't be super hungry by the time I had dinner. So I just sometimes get a drink. Is really my big thing, and just know like that I'm looking forward to the OMAD helps me like realize it won't be as good if I eat something else and then I'm not actually hungry for the OMAD, if that makes sense. But I honestly don't feel like I have a hard time concentrating. So if other people have any tips for Black Duck, I would love for you guys to share those. But honestly, usually within my 19 to 24 hours, if I'm having a really hard time, I do usually break my fast. But it's not something that I struggle with. So that might not be good advice if it's something you struggle with every day. The other thing, I'm trying to think. Making sure that you really enjoy the OMAD, I think, is an important part of getting there. Is when you have something to look forward to. For me personally, it's easier to get there when I know that I enjoy it. So that's another component. Let's see here. Thank you, Kathy. Let's see. Angelo says, hi, Jackie. Love your channel. Thank you. You inspired me to create a blog around my fasting journey as well. Are you the one that messaged me on Facebook? I would love to see your blog if that's not you. But I think it's great. And honestly, when I read Jen Stevens' Fast Feast Repeat, I had no plans of sharing anything about weight loss or fasting. And I had done Weight Watchers, I've done diet bets, and I never put anything about it on YouTube, even though I was doing YouTube, because I never wanted to make anyone feel like they had to lose weight. But when I found fasting, it was so transformational in my personal life that I really just wanted to share it with other people. So I commend you for doing the same thing, Angelo. I see you responded down here. No, you're not the same one. Someone else just messaged me. They have a blog and they wanted to write a blog post about my YouTube channel. That actually reminds me, I need to review the blog post they sent. But I think it's amazing. Sharing the journey, I think, really could encourage. Think of yourself. And I'm not speaking just to you, Angela, but me. I wish Jackie pre-fasting had found fasting earlier. And so that always motivates me. I want people that felt like weight loss was impossible or a really big struggle to find the same hope that I found. And that is a good encouragement for me. And I think it's great that you're sharing. Matthew, happy Wednesday. Let's see. Karen says, love your hair. Thank you. Happy Wednesday. I've been doing OMAD for months, not losing. My appetite is still not corrected. I'm still so hungry and always end up overeating. Any tips? I think my biggest thing would be opening your eating window with protein. So you guys know, I have a really hard time when I feel controlled with food. So I have a hard time giving that to you guys as a rule, because when I have the rules, I like the freedom. Short eating windows are pivotal when I feel like I'm overeating. Open my eating window, eat my meal, close it. And if that includes having gummy bears at the end or dessert with it, I have the 25-minute eating windows are very good for me because it controls. Like, I can only eat so much in that time period. And it's easier for me to shut the eating window when I'm very satisfied. So I open my eating window, and I don't know why this is the one that pops in my head, but going to Mexican. Going out to eat to Mexican, chips and salsa, eat my meal, and if we had churros or I had a margarita, like something that was sweet with it, or like, I don't know. All I can think of is churros, but in Mexican, I don't know why. But I closed my eating window and it's very satisfactory. I enjoyed it. It's filling. I had the chips and salsa, the beans, the meats, all the things. And then I close it and I'm so satisfied that I don't feel tempted. And having shorter eating windows where I enjoy it and then I feel really good fasting is encouraging to me. So that's something that I do. And then I think the longer that I fast, when I have days of overeating and I don't feel good the next day, I'm much less likely to correct or to repeat the behavior. And that doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. There are days I'm certain that I'm eating more than I probably should. But I don't really pay much attention. Eating protein to begin my eating window helps me to not eat as much sweet things, and which then pushes me to the edge. And then my October challenge, which I haven't really divulged what that was, but it involved calorie restriction as an incidental. I ate, it was like 1,700 calories a day, and I dropped all the weight that I had been retaining from my medicines. I had gained weight from taking all those medicines in a row, and I really was having, without doing anything about it, a hard time dropping it. It was like I was staying there. All of it came off when I did calorie restriction for 30 days in a row, and it was actually quite enjoyable. It was all food that I liked, and just because of the challenge I was doing, I knew how many calories I was consuming, and 1,700 for a 5'10" woman is a calorie restriction on a day-to-day basis. So that did help. I hate saying that because it's not something that I would want to do on a regular basis and track calories when I'm eating different foods all the time. But you could have like a low carb down day and then have an up day and then your normal OMAD where maybe those restrictions on the few days allow you to have the larger OMADs. But that's all I can think of. I hope other people have tips. Vegan Mama Mel would love to do a podcast. Yay! Email me or message me on Instagram. That'd be awesome. Angelo, that was the nope, that he was not the one that messaged me. How long did it take to have your fasting muscle? Honestly, I felt like I was pretty in the groove within 2 months. I felt really solidified. I know the first couple weeks felt pretty treacherous as far as adjusting. I kept myself very busy, and summertime, my kids were home. We went to parks. We went and did a lot of things to keep my mind off eating, and that helped. But I feel like when I adjusted within 2 months, I felt really good in my OMAD schedule and just very happy with it. Let's see. My mom says, if I eat later in the day, I tend not to be so hungry at night. And like you, if I have a beverage clean, I try to make it special. Okay, so that's her tips to you, Karen. I love that. And I do, honestly, eating later in the day helps me to have that food to look forward to. And then I can go to bed full. So I do think that's a great tip. Thank you for sharing that, Mom. Sam's Mo says, hey, Jackie, was wondering if doing a 24-hour fast every day or every other day would count as ADF, or does it have to be 36 hours? Would you change your fasting schedule around your period? Just like, I'm going to take a drink of water because my voice is getting dry. Checking time. We're doing good. No, 24 hours, honestly, is just a daily, potential of a fast. So you close your eating window at 4:30 one day, but you don't eat dinner till the next day at 5. That is not an ADF protocol from my experience and what I've read, in my opinion. So if I do a 24-hour fast like I did yesterday, it's just my OMAD, and then today is going to be another OMAD. Today's Wednesday. Early on Monday, because it was leftovers and I had a busy night. So I just ate my leftovers early. Then yesterday we had a typical dinner, but it was still later than my normal, or than the day before. So then today I'm eating when my kids go to bed. My dinner today is going to be another 24-hour fast. I don't treat any of those like down days. I have to fully miss a day of eating or eat very small, like the 500 calories, for that to count as a down day. I would just literally let that be your fast for the day and have your typical eating window. I do not intentionally change my fast around my period, because I don't do, if you're thinking of like Dr. Mindy Pell's, where she says don't fast around certain times or have longer eating windows. The only thing that I do is I can tell that I feel very hungry before my period starts, and I don't shame myself. I don't not let myself eat. I get my minimum 18-hour fast, but there are days where I'm like 18 hours and 1 minute, I break my fast, and I know it's right before my period. Well, it comes every month, so then I expect it, and when it's not all of a sudden like a catastrophe, it's what I expect to happen, then I go with it. I have more 18-hour fasts right before my period starts and longer eating windows, and I just let myself have a longer OMAD. I don't fret about it. I just go with it, and it's very cyclical. So I can see every month before my period starts, I'm hungrier. I get my 18 hours, I let it be a longer eating window, and then I fast on. But it's not something where I try to match my schedule or sync it or anything. Honestly, that's too much work for me, and I feel really good with my OMAD life. So I don't want to rock the boat and make it be more work. Oh, whoops. So mom's response, I think it could have maybe helped Karen too, but that was for Black Duck. Mexico living every minute says, I like to eat later in the day also, or I binge at night. I do think having the eating window later in the night can definitely help a lot of things. And to me, having it to look forward to really helps to not. And there are plenty of times where I eat earlier in the day and it's like, well, that's done for the day. And if you like to eat, it's hard to sometimes feel like, oh, that's over. But I also think that the longer I fast, the less it's hard, if that makes sense. Not to say that every day is easy. I feel like it's easy by comparison of dieting. I think it's easy by comparison of Weight Watchers, but that doesn't mean there aren't days where I'm like, wow, eating all day every day would be easy again, because that definitely sounds easier. But I like the way I feel, and I like my health benefits, and what I give up to achieve that and still enjoy food makes it feel easy when I look at the total picture, if that makes sense. Himanshi says, and I'm sorry if I butchered your name, can we eat anything in OMAD like sugar and dairy? I do. I don't, have an OMAD of just donuts. Donuts are something I love, and I had a donut earlier this week. That doesn't mean I have a donut every day. That doesn't mean that I intentionally eat all things every day because I can, but when I have opportunity or it sounds good, I do allow myself, and I certainly eat dairy every day. I don't have a diet. I don't have restrictions, and honestly, removing the restrictions has really allowed me to be more discerning in just my choices, because the longer I fast, the more I know what makes me feel good, what's going to help me to have a good fast, feel good in my eating windows and in my fast. And when it's not based on a rule, and it's just based on what feels good and how I want to feel or what sounds good, it's much easier to choose the good things, to be honest. So I eat a lot more veggies than I used to when I was dieting, happily, I should say, at least. And I eat probably less donuts because I don't fall off the wagon and then all of a sudden binge on them because I broke the rules, and screw it. If I'm going to break the rules, I'm going to eat all the things. I do eat everything, but that doesn't mean I have no thought behind it, is what I'm trying to say. Kieran's agrees that high protein meal opener, or high protein as an opener, helps with satiety and food freedom of OMAD. Yay! Yes, I'm still not the best when it comes to making sure, but when I plan it, I can feel like, I don't know if you guys have seen Ryan Johnson eat the biltong on his videos from Aldi. I've seen him enough that I was like, I need to try this. I'm interested. It is so good. It's 36 grams of protein to eat the bag. And it makes me, not only do I have high satisfaction, I really enjoy it, but all that protein, I feel very satisfied, and I'm less likely to have sugar cravings if I open my eating window with, say, something sugary. So the more I fast, the more I'm learning that stuff, but I'm not a nutritionist or a scientist or any of the things to share that, other than it's really helped me. And as I'm learning from others and applying it, I'm seeing a difference. Brittany says, thank you, Jackie. Keep up good work. Yay, encouraging others. I love it. And T says, hey, Jackie. Hi, T. And I wish I could see your cute little emojis, but I can't on my stream, but I know it's on YouTube. Hope you're doing well. Mexico Living Every Minute says, I'm glad I talked about you talked about the calorie deficit. I did this to lose the last 10 pounds to my dream weight. Ate 1,700 at 5'9", and I'm 62. It came off faster than I thought. I have a video that will be coming about this. I don't know when. I still have to finish it. I was amazed. And as I said, I didn't do it to do a calorie deficit. It was incidental to what I did, but it really made a difference. And I really enjoyed my 1,700 calorie OMAD. So, but it's funny, 1,700. Yep. It felt like a really plentiful OMAD, but it was still in a deficit of an entire day of eating. So it was very effective. And not something I want to track on a day-to-day basis, but it could make a difference. And it did help me to lose the stubborn weight that I had gained from taking all those medicines. Sam says, what about 30 hours? ADF. Sometimes I attempt 36 and my eating window starts at 11 the next day, but I want to have coffee with my creamer in her. So I considered closing it at 30 to 32 hours. So I'm trying to think so if I broke my fast at 30 hours, when would you close it the day before? I mean, potentially you could still just do your OMAD, but because if you ate lunch and then 24 hours later would be lunchtime again and 6 hours later would be dinner, you could eat lunch one day and dinner the next and get a 30-hour fast. That's probably not what you're talking, but I'm trying to think 30 hours. Yeah. So if you did dinner and then you fast the entire, and then you eat breakfast the day after, or you had the coffee with the creamer, if you skip the entire day of eating in the middle, I would do an up day. 30 hours. I think it kind of depends on when it is. If it's earlier in the day, you could do, I wouldn't feel compelled is what I'm saying. But I also don't feel like you have to not do an up day. So I'm trying to think of, if you stop eating at 7 p.m., 30 hours from that is 7 p.m. but 6. See, that doesn't make sense because then that would be 1 a.m. in the morning. And I don't see that being then you're not having coffee with your creamer. For honestly, 30 hours, I would probably not treat it as an up day. I need very specific times to consider. I see Kieran says 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., but that's 36 hours. And yes, I would do that as a down day. That 36-hour fast, and then treat the following day as an up day. But 30 hours would probably be 2 OMADs for me because I eat 1 meal a day. So if I did lunch one day and then dinner the next and it was a 30-hour difference, I would not treat that like a down day. Because I have 2 days consecutively in a row where I'm eating a full day's worth of calories in my OMAD. So I would have a hearty lunch and a hearty dinner. My body's not going to feel like it's starving with just a 30-hour fast. It's just an incidental long fast. Now, if I was going and completely missing a day of eating, I ate a good meal on Tuesday, did not eat Wednesday at all, and then Thursday I opened it, I would have that be an up day. But that's when you're getting more into the 36-hour mark beyond, because anything else, I can't think of a scenario with 30 hours, but again, mental math, not my strongest suit, where I would not be eating in both days still. Because the 30 hours, yes, you get a nice break, but that just basically shows that you're eating meals at different times of the day, which to me is not a down day. Whew. Let's see, I usually start fasting at 11 p.m. and miss the whole next day. So 11 p.m., 24 hours later is 11 p.m., and then you open the next day. Yeah, you could treat it like an up day. I see what you're saying. So then your fasting schedule is just so different than mine. So then it would be, if you close your eating window at 11 p.m., are you really eating because if you're up at 11 p.m. eating, you're probably up at 11 p.m. the next day. And then if you wake up that instant and have your coffee with creamer, I feel like you could do it if you want to. I don't know if that makes sense. I wouldn't feel compelled to treat it like an up day, but also I'm getting from this that maybe you want to treat it like an up day, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So if you close your eating window at 11 p.m., you don't eat the next day, and then the following day you have an up day where you start your coffee with creamer, and again, you're probably going to be still in ketosis, burning fat. If you're simply having coffee with creamer and then you have food later, yeah, you might break your fast, but you're still burning fat. It could work out for you. Let's see. Sorry, I just had to make sure I have 5 minutes. Hi, Health Hollow. I've been on OMAD for a year and a half with no weight gain, but over the last month, I've gained around 10 pounds. Wow. What changed was I switched from walking to HIIT after supper. So strange. Well, you honestly, so this is where I feel like I step out of 100% comfort talking, but I have read that fasting ignites human growth hormone and can actually help you build muscle. Not anything that I have experience with, and I certainly don't do high intensity interval training, but I would not be surprised if you are gaining muscle by doing the high intensity training. I would pay more attention to clothes fitting, body composition, and recomposition than the weight itself, especially if you're adding the weights to that. That could be what it is. Or if you're doing that and you're expending like greater energy than walking was, your body might be just kind of holding on to stuff, like just to see what state it's in and see if it's gonna like, oh, okay, we keep doing this and we keep getting fat and this exercise is good for us. It might level out. But again, it's so outside of my norm. Let's see. Daylight savings cut my outside walks because it got so dark. Now I'm in my living room and exercise for the same amount of time. Honestly, I would start to pay attention to, and maybe you are, how your body is responding, because maybe you're building muscle and that does certainly weigh more than fat. And I wouldn't worry about the scale if that's what you're doing. If you're doing more intense workouts, you could be shifting and the weight isn't going to reflect the changes that you see, if that makes sense. Let's see. So I started at 11 p.m., missed the whole next day, and after that, I eat at 8 or 9 a.m. instead of 11 a.m. So just 2 or 3 or 5 hours shy of 36. Yeah, I would, if you want to treat that like an up day, I think I probably would, yes. Because you're missing that entire day, and you're not like, I know like hours and days really don't matter to your body, but in my mind, like if I eat Tuesday and I eat Wednesday, it's not a down day. If I eat Tuesday and I don't on Wednesday, and then I would have an up day on Thursday. I don't necessarily think so much in terms of the exact fast. For me, it just never works out to be as low as 32 hours. It's always more than that just because of when I close my eating windows. But yeah, I would probably treat that like an up day. And then enjoy your coffee with creamer. I do like a 30-hour, 7 a.m. today to 1 p.m. tomorrow. So it's still a daily window. And that's more what I think of, is when I have 30 hours, it's not a down day. But it is, I eat this day and I eat the next day. I bet you're building muscle. Yes, I totally agree with Christine. I gained weight doing high intensity training. I think because it made me famished. I did it for 6 months, so the inflammation from building muscle couldn't account for it. Interesting. Yeah, I really wish I had some insight beyond my very little thoughts, but not my wheelhouse. I'm sorry. Maybe do a down day with coffee creamer and up day next day. Oh, that's a very interesting idea. I like that idea. Okay, what are your thoughts on one long 48-hour fast a week or 2 down days? I wonder if it would reap the same results. Honestly, I think it's interesting to compare it and see what it would be, but I would 100%, if you are interested in finding it out, I would try it out. I think that you could certainly see different results because 2 down days is going to give you 2 up days. Your body might respond to that differently than if you have 1 long down day and a single up day. I love, when I was actively losing weight, I had 1 down day and it was usually pretty close to 48 hours. I loved it. I thought it was really great. I ate my, or it was 40 to 48 hours, but I loved it when it was 48 hours, like lunch to lunch. And then I would have lunch and dinner, and it worked out really well. But I don't, I mean, because 2 down days would be more than 48 hours of a fast, but you'd also have 2 up days. I think you probably would yield different results, but I don't know how your body would respond. I think the best way to try, you're not going to hurt yourself trying different things. So I would certainly give it a whirl and report back. Okay, I have to go. It's 2 o'clock on the dot. I know I haven't hit everything. I just want to show this. I think you may be right. I look more muscular now and clothes fit tighter for sure. Well, muscle is a good thing. I would like to look more muscular, but that takes more effort than I've expended right now. Okay, but I have to go, guys. I'm so sorry. I have to go to my kids' school. I hope you have a great week. I'm sorry for whatever I've missed, but I'll be live next Wednesday, maybe in my new office. See you guys. Have a great week. Fast on.